All right, great. So as you notice, that the contour, the correction is all on her skin right now. So she's really highlighted in the center of her face. She's ready for foundation. Turn towards me, please. So I'm putting a small amount of this foundation on the tip of my brush, and I'm gonna start stroking outward. But what happens is, because we've done such a high concentration of the corrector, her skin just looks brighter and clearer as we brush through the center of her face. So she's really gonna show up really well at night. I'm really not gonna put on that much more foundation than I would for daytime. But what I've done is I've done more of the undercoat that gives a stronger impression to the skin. So again, you don't need to, if you wear your makeup thick, trust me, all people think when they look at you is, why are they wearing so much foundation? It just happens, it's human nature. Look up for me, but if you can keep this, the top layer of your foundation thin and smooth, and get all the coverage you want from using these correctors underneath, you'll always have a gorgeous looking skin. Blend this really well. So once again, I'm gonna try to get away with not using skin tone concealer under her eyes. If I can do that, I mean, more power to me. I have nothing against concealer around the eye area, and I may use some, but I'm just saying if I can get away without using it and the look is still awesome, well then, better off for me and better off for her. So I'm just, again, just brushing from the center of the face out. She doesn't need a lot on her forehead, but we did do a pretty high intensity eyebrow for this look, again, to support the higher contrast coloring. So I am gonna be very meticulous. One thing, even with high coverage foundation, let that brush flick off the corner of the jawline this way, okay? And always go in smooth strokes so that light is following the brush stroke very smoothly and evenly. But let it flick so you don't get a jawline of foundation. Don't go like this, flick it off the corner of her face. So I'm gonna do just around her eye a little bit, her eyebrow, a little bit of foundation. Turn towards me, please. And I'm just gonna take my brush and I'm just gonna clean up right above the eyebrow, right? Make that look really jamming and smooth and clean. So there's a little bit of foundation, turn this way for me. And I take the brush and I go right along the brow line, just like that. Just sweep it. It just creates that slightly more Photoshop finish look to your makeup that you want to get. That looks really, really good. Now she's got a lot of foundation on her skin, so to make it look better, I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to stipple, which means I'm going to press and roll. I'm not going to, so actually stippling is usually something, a patting motion like this, so disregard the stipple. I really want you to just press and roll. I want you to push that makeup down into the skin. You see how that creates this really beautiful, look at that glow, look straight ahead. Look at that glow happening off her cheekbone. Raise your chin up a little bit, just raise your face up like this and then come back down. See how light's traveling on her face? That looks really awesome. And that's all from the corrector, which is really nice. That looks really good. So we're just gonna hit her with some powder. When I say hit her, what I mean is I'm gonna take the side of my brush and I'm gonna pat it into the skin this way. I really wanna make sure I set this foundation really, really well. This has to stand up to some night light, which sometimes can actually be more severe than daylight because it can be pointed right at you. You don't wanna look all shiny and, you know, disproportional. So take your powder and kind of push it into the skin a little bit more. That looks really good. And press, 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 just like that. So when I finish doing Farrah's eyes, look up for me, please. I left a little margin of error because I had to do her foundation first before I could finish this look around her eyes. And what I meant by that is I need to get all of this concealer around her eye area before I can finish with the black shadow. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take some more black shadow with a fine brush. Look up, please. And now I'm gonna do my little finishing touch. So I really flick off all the excess powder and I'm gonna smoke out around the eye. So this is black shadow. And now I'm gonna create that even more completely seductive, smoky, high intensity eye into the inner corner this way, just like that. Then I'm also gonna take my, my contour brush. And with it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect, look down for me, I'm gonna connect the contour here to the corner of the eye. So that, open please, so you get that beautiful smokiness happening all around the eye area, just like that. You see it stays nice and clean now because we've done all that concealer up underneath. This is where you have to be careful because you definitely don't want your brush to spill. Look up please. So take your time a little bit right here, turn towards me. Take your time right here just a little bit so that you don't push too hard with the brush and you don't get too much shadow falling down on the face. That looks really good, nice and smoky. I'm gonna take it into the inner corner a little bit. Little kiss of color, little kiss of dark in the inner corner just to set that eye in. And then I'm gonna connect the bottom eye line, close, to the top contour. It's going right over that eyeliner. Open, please. And then you get this beautiful, straight ahead, you get this beautiful smoky eye happening now on top of the foundation. If you're watching this at makeupgourmet.com, I've listed my current favorite products to achieve this look. Click on one and try it. If you're not at makeupgourmet.com, go there now to see my favorite product picks for this look, as well as everything else we have to offer. How to apply, what to buy, makeupgourmet.com.